Hackers who seized the commercial ship in the Gulf of Aden this weekend appear to have been Somali pirates, the Pentagon said on Monday. A U.S. Navy-guided missile destroyer and allied ships belonging to a counter-piracy task force on Sunday responded to a distress call from the crew of the Central Park, which had been boarded by 5 armed individuals, the Pentagon added. More on this story is within this report.
The 5 armed attackers captured by U.S. forces after seizing a commercial ship near Yemen over the weekend were likely Somali and not members of the Houthi rebels, as the Pentagon said. While the Pentagon was still assessing the motives of the latest group, piracy in the region was down, and this was clearly a piracy-related event. Yemen's government in Aden has accused the Houthi rebels of attacking the MV Central Park in the Gulf of Aden on Sunday. The Liberian flag tanker managed by Zodiac Maritime sent out a distress call and forces from the USS Mason. The 5 attackers attempted to flee in their small boats, but the U.S. forces pursued them and fired warning shots, resulting in their eventual surrender. However, little over 90 minutes later, 2 ballistic missiles fired from Houthi-controlled Yemen landed about 10 nautical miles from the Mason. The U.S. destroyer didn't engage or try to intercept the missiles because they were not deemed a threat and splashed into the water. Ballistic missiles had been fired shortly after from the Houthi-controlled territory in Yemen, and the Pentagon has not ruled out that the Houthis were somehow linked to the Somali-conducted attack. The attacks on commercial vessels have previously been conducted by Houthis and are part of a larger rise in violence in the region due to the Israel war. They said it was not still clear whether the ballistic missiles were aiming for the Mason, and there were 3 Chinese vessels in the area at the time, but they didn't respond to the Central Park's distress call. The Chinese government has not acknowledged whether it had ships in the area at the time of the attack. According to international maritime law, any ship in the vicinity is required to respond to a distress call.